Good morning, peoples. Um, I feel like I've been missing something. We're over 8 years. I was in that rabbit hole for a good seven and a half. Um, and I feel I have enough information. I mean, to at least start to begin to point me into the right avenue or people or person or something. I can find all these details and find this, that, and the other. But to as far as to start, you know, getting some solid shit. But anyway, I feel like I've been missing something, that I overlooked something because I have way too much shit in front of me. You know what I mean? I got way too much stuff to not have at least a few answers that to some of my questions. But this is ridiculous. So I'm feeling okay. I'm missing something. So I'm going to go back. I've been back over it and back over it throughout the years, don't get me wrong. But now I feel like I'm missing something, so I went back over it, and it's got to be something simple, something like Carter says, right in plain sight, something simple, something stupid, right under my nose, that I'm not paying attention to. I'm just simply overlooking because, yeah, you would normally overlook. So anyways, I went back and everything, and you know, I know you guys ain't, I just don't like Julie Melvin. There's something about that lady. I mean, I don't know her personally, so I can't really say I don't like her, but yeah, there's just, nope, there's something about her. I'm sorry, I just can't shake it. Never have been able to shake it. When she first came on scene, over 8 years ago, she was doing videos, doing panels, and whatnot with Greeno and Gravitz, and she was having a blast until her and Gravitz got held at gunpoint there in May 2017 in those woods. And then she just kind of like fell off for like about almost 4 years, somewhere around there. She was gone. She just left for a while. She was MIA, and then boom, she popped back on the scene, and now she's a movie star again. You know what I mean? So, I started looking into her because she's been catching my attention on one too many things. I mean, for Becky Patty not wanting her around, and Julie Melvin's supposed to be part family, a shirt tail relative or something. They got so much animosity toward each other that it's like they're doing it in spite of each other. So they're obviously on opposite, teams, opposite sides. So, which is bizarre. It makes no sense to me. If I'm Julie Melvin and Becky Patty didn't like me or whatever, I'd leave the lady alone. She's grieving enough, I'm not going to stick my nose in, especially being a family member. I'm not going to stick my nose into it and maybe possibly muddy the waters or this, that, and the other. Just out of respect for the family, period. That would be my place. That would, you just don't do that. But she seems to have no regard whatsoever. So it blows my hair. So that lady's been tripping for a while because I don't remember if she was even allowed at the funeral, because I know that Michael Catt, Greeno, and it might even be Randy Gravitz. None of them were allowed to attend some of the ceremonies. So that whole group right there is trouble. So, and that's by the family, and that was put on blast right out loud and in front and in public right in the beginning, because the coroner's office, Terre Haute had the girls' bodies for I believe it was 10 days. And they had been waiting on the bodies so they could bury the girls and have a funeral. It seemed like it took forever for them to return the bodies, But like I said, the coroner held them for days. Anyways, Julie Melvin's like always been in there in the beginning and shit, And then, like I said, she just fell off for like about 4 years. Then she came back on scene. There's just too many things surrounding her that have popped up some red flags recently, because you know how you look at everybody. Because see, we already know Greeno's part of it. Because see, Greeno already told everybody he was there. Greeno already told everybody it was a gang initiation. Greeno um, has an alibi, and Tina Riddell verifies that alibi, saying that Greeno was with Megan Allen from the 13th to the 15th at Monon High. And that is Greeno's official alibi. Like it or not, that's it. That's his official alibi. So maybe he doesn't want to talk about it because he can't, because maybe he was a witness to things. I have no idea, but Greeno was there. And like I said, Tina Riddell is his alibi. Backs it up, Megan Allen, the whole nine. So anyways, all this shit. Well, Julie Melvin is able to talk to former Judge Curtis Fouts and get him to represent Greeno. You know, for a favor. You know, she talked to Fouts. She said she talked to Fouts, and because she knew Fouts and whatnot, and was able to, you know, talk him into representing Greeno. And Fouts also has represented Paladinos in the past. Fouts also resigned as a judge for possible charges of soliciting a prostitute. That's why he resigned 5 months before his term was up. So, anyways, Julie Melvin calls on him to ask for a favor to represent Greeno, and he does. Fast forward to the trial, Greeno's writing letters to Judge Gull and sending even supposed crime scene photos to Judge Gull. And you gotta remember that Fouts is his representative, his legal representative, his attorney. So you've got these players going, right? You can start to see it a little bit. And then, like I said, you know, back in May of 2017, Julie Melvin and Randy Gravitz were back in those woods. Julie was on the phone with the psychic. She had her on speakerphone, and Randy had his phone, and he was live. And that was supposedly the day that they were held by gunpoint, and that's right after that is when Julie Melvin left YouTube for about 4 years, and now she has signed a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. So she knows real good buddies with Fouts to pull off a favor for Greeno to represent him. She made it in and out of those woods, supposedly gunpoint, unscathed, safe, when a 13 and a 14-year-old girl couldn't. So, and then you've got to consider the audio interview with Hannah Shakespeare. She was with, brainstorming with a table of people, a room of people on this case, including Hannah Shakespeare. So how does Julie Melvin rate when Julie Melvin and Hannah Shakespeare are saying there were evidence markers from the crime scene all the way to Ron Logan's house? What kind of clout does Julie Melvin have in order to sit at these meetings? I don't know. What kind of clout does she have to pull that off with Fouts? What kind of clout does she have to get held at gunpoint and walk out? She's got to have some kind of clout, in my opinion. It's not all. It's not all. So, like I said, all that. Now, I don't know who she has signed an NDA with, I don't know. I have no idea. But she does talk a lot, so it's got to be something specific because she talks about a variety of things. So, but anyway, she did sign an NDA. But the thing, and if you didn't know, if you look on her Facebook, on her like political page for like Trump, well, she has rode in Donald Trump's motorcade as well. Which, how in the hell do you pull that off? All right. And not just only that, the thing that really got me was about, a year and a half ago, I found out that not only is she in cahoots with like Fouts, which would be gold, Greeno, this, that, the other, and all this NDA and all these questions, don't even get along with the family, blah, 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 blah. All this negative. It casts such a shade, And then come to find out, because who the fuck is Julie Melvin? Why is she poking at the bear? Who is she? The family doesn't even want to claim her as a family member. So, alright. So she wants to go poking around. But it's definitely 2 red flags when I find out she's also talking to Andrew Baldwin and Rousey too. And that's where my shit's like, what? Nope. So, like I said, I know I'm missing something. I'm going back. We're gonna find this. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna find out how this whole chain of command goes up, and who it goes up to. Which I'm gonna tell you already. It goes beyond the governor. Oh yeah. In my opinion, I don't think this was an accident. I don't think it was 2 girls out on trails one day taking pictures and some guy just decided to kill them. That is an outright lie. That is an outright lie. There's no proof of that. This was a hit. And this was a bold ass hit to send a message. And the message was so clear, it's still a secret. They still won't tell you the truth. They still won't tell you about the dolls and the flags and all the bullshit that was at the crime scene. They won't tell you. The masks, they won't tell you. They won't tell you about the pig or the disembowelment. They won't tell you. Nope. They won't tell you the truth. They won't tell you shit of what came out the first 2 weeks. You know why? They've scrubbed it. Because it was the truth that came out. Oh, and we could go toe to toe on all the details that came out in the beginning. Oh, there's more. And no, I'm not cuckoo. Oh, hell no. No, there's too much out there that we the people have that just crumbles their whole shit. But we've got to start knocking down some of these people. Where is the triangle, the pyramid of how this shit goes up? Where does it start clicking at? Well, if you remember right, the reason why Judge Fouts resigned was he could have been possibly facing charges for soliciting a prostitute because Diary of a Mad Escort put a video of him on blast on YouTube, so he couldn't even defend himself. But there were also whispers of him sex trafficking too. But we never heard nothing farther anymore on that because he resigned. And he never faced any charges on none of it. Never heard no more on it. Told Lesenby said nope, that he is not being investigated. Community safe, the whole nine. Well, a lot of people have done some work for some other people on this. You can see it goes down a chain of command. There's somebody big at the wheel, and they got a lot of minions working for them. I see someone simple like me. I couldn't get that many people together and have that many minions working for me. You know what I mean? I'm just a little person. I'm just simple. I'm just a regular everyday Joe. But whoever's doing this Delphi shit is not an everyday regular Joe. Not if he can round up and team up with so many different kinds of people, agencies, etc., etc., etc. Somebody's got some pull. But anyways, I've been talking too long, so there should be some highlights. I'm sure there's, I could go on about this for days, literally. I could stay up and talk about this for, I would say probably a good 2 solid days. I mean, I got troves. Dates, names, times, places, whatever. And a lot of it's just I got it right on the top of my head because I've just been in it for so long. But I could talk for a long time. Hopefully the truth starts coming out because I ain't believe shit that they put up thus far. There's a whole bunch of fucking people. It ain't 3 fucking people. It's a whole bunch of goddamn people. There's a lot of fucking names. There's a lot of names. I don't care who you are. There's a lot of names. Too many names. And when you got that many names and ain't nobody squealed in over 8 years, they all did it because they were all going to go down together. They all took part. I mean, other than that, if you didn't take part, I mean, either that or they're just scared that their family members are going to end up like Abby and Libby, just like what Garrett Kurtz said. It's one or the other. Because regular circumstance, people ain't going to keep a secret this damn long, this damn tight. Not that tight. But the state's got it all wrapped up. Because why? Because it's the state's baby in the first place. Protecting somebody. If not, we'd have more out there. Alright, y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed.